Alright, what is up everybody? It's Joe from JLB Games coming at you with another cool video. We're back in Planet Coaster 2 with a kind of a new project, but not really. This is I already had started it a little bit before, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start recording this. And it's actually a franchise mode that I'm doing with Fluffy the Best, and it's actually one of the parks that I started, and it's called Midwest Adventure. Now this is, I know I said that my first big project would be Adventure, or Universe Adventure, which is going to be the Epic Universe inspired park, but I needed to get my hands on building a park for the first time, like a proper park, and so that's where this kind of came up about. Now you do have to worry about money and like actual management stuff in franchise mode. So I do have a limit of $500,000. I know that's not enough, right? But I barely even make a dent into it. But anyways, I wanted to get started on this park. I don't think this park's going to be huge or anything, and we actually get quite a bit done for the most part when it comes to this park, and I'm having fun in franchise mode. It's pretty fun. So we're also going to be doing a community park franchise mode, so let me know if you guys want me to do updates on that in the form of videos. So this park is going to be, sometimes I'll do stuff off screen, sometimes I'll do stuff on screen. I did record 2 episodes technically during this game session, so you're gonna have this episode and then also another episode that will be coming later on as well, to kind of get an update where we are on this park. So, if you guys don't know, franchise mode is a mode where you can actually collab with other players, and you can have access to other park files. You can also do this somehow in sandbox mode as well, so, you can play asynchronously together. So if someone's not working on one of your parks, you can jump in and work on it and put down some change notes. The cool thing about it is you can actually, go back to your previous, it actually saves your previous uploads. So when you hit upload, that version of your park will be saved, which is actually a really nice feature. So if someone goes in, messes up your park, you can load up an old one. I don't know why anyone would want to mess up your park, but in case somebody does, just rest assured that your previous versions are saved in automatically. So that's actually a really good thing. But this park, I'm actually pretty proud of how it started out, and it's pretty nice. And one thing I'm really excited about is how to make like little fountains like this, because the terrain is no longer a pain to deal with the pathway now. You can actually just pull the terrain away from the path, and then I just placed down some walls and a floor at the bottom, and boom, you have a nice little fountain. Another way to do it is really, you could probably put down a pool and just make sure the pool's closed so no one swims in it. That's probably another way you could actually do it, honestly, as well. But to ensure that no one swims in it, I decided to go with just the regular water. And this, I wanted to have a cool little entrance with a fountain and everything, and have like some shops off to the side. And I got a little bit ambitious on making some elevated paths and such like that. I might go back and change this fountain display a little bit, because it just seems so empty on the top, even though I have King Coaster. King Coaster, I decided, is going to be our main mascot in the park, just because I love King Coaster, and he's one of my favorites. But anyways, it took me a while, but doing stuff like this really does kind of help with my building skills overall when it comes to like the pathing and just overall ideas that I have. So my idea here was to create an elevated path that goes across. I was going to have it all connected with the stairway, and then have an ADA accessible option at the end. But then I was like, what if I had an opening in the middle and had some like slanted planters over here with some like awesome foliage, or like flowers and stuff. I think I've seen some parks do this before, and everything like that. And also, sorry about if I cough or like clear my throat a little bit. I feel like I'm getting a little bit sick, unfortunately. But anyways, that aside, let's go ahead and something I noticed, like, man, I wish I could really flawlessly get this symmetry down onto the other side. So I tried to do it this way, but then I realized, wait a minute, we can save paths and blueprints now. So I ended up saving it as a blueprint and then plopped it down onto the other side, so it's nice and perfectly aligned the way it needs to be, and it worked flawlessly. It just snapped right to the path, and it was perfect. So now I needed to make in my elevated paths here a little bit of ADA accessible, because they're going to need to shop too as well. So we're going to put some shops onto the sides of those. Really cool, nice little entrance area here. And my idea here is that this park is going to have a small water park off to the side, as with the other ones, or with the main park. So we're gonna have a little bit of a water park entrance off to the side with some changing rooms and extra guest service building, and more. So this is gonna be a really cool park. I'm so excited to do like just putting water parks and regular parks together like this. I think it's a really cool feature, and I'm very excited because I've actually found out that I feel like I'm actually pretty good at making water slides. At least I've been very proud of some of the stuff I've made. If you look at my workshop, I have a Viking slide complex that's actually in the top 15 of downloads in the entire Steam workshop, and it's actually one of the one of the top slide blueprints out there as well. Last time I looked, it was yesterday, but it was the top slide option when you click on pools and stuff. So I'm really proud of that, and I did another a Kapow Plummet recreation on stream yesterday as well, which turned out really good. So I'm pretty proud of how my slides have been turning out. Maybe I'm a water park guy and didn't ever realize it. Who knows? Who would have thought that, right? Even though I've never really cared for water parks all that much, I do visually think they look great in parks. Just seeing those slide complexes and slides and wave pools and pools in general all looks really cool. So maybe that's my calling. So we had to add another distributor over here to make sure everything over here has some power, and this is kind of how I like to focus on it, and maybe it could be a good idea for you guys, is make it, or put the distributor on the back side of buildings to kind of hide them, and it kind of makes it look like a cool little backstage area. It adds to your overall feel for creating backstage areas. It gives you a reason to create backstage areas, and I'm pretty sure guests don't want to see it either, so that's also a good thing to note as well. And then with the dark interiors in here, it made it a little bit difficult because I had to, like, oh man, shoot, now I have to add lighting in here because it's actually dark inside in here, which is amazing, by the way. But yeah, so far I've had a blast with this park, and I think it's turned out really good. You'll see in part 2 when we actually get some of the water park stuff into the game. It's gonna be pretty cool. I also love this new sign where it doesn't have a background. It's literally just text, and you can put it anywhere, and you can resize it up, by the way. really cool pieces that we have in Planet Coaster 2. And I'm just super excited and stoked. For those of you trying to look for like a concrete piece, because there is like no concrete piece that I've noticed, and I've tried to make concrete sections. A good piece to use is actually the plaster piece, for like the plaster walls and plaster floors and roofs. They work really well, especially if you recolor it to like a gray color. They really look a lot like concrete, so that's what I've been using. So in case you guys were wondering, oh man, there's no concrete pieces, that's what I would use personally, and it works very well. So just a little tip for you guys of what I've been discovering as I play, and I discover more and more new things as I go along, and I'm very excited. I'm getting to the point where I know what to search for to find a specific piece and different things like that. I feel like Planet Coaster 2 has made it a lot easier to build things just overall, and build things that look good. Maybe it's just me, or maybe I just have enough practice into it, I don't know. But I feel like it's been very easy to create nice stuff. So anyways, we're going to start on one of the shops here on the little shopping center in the center, and that's going to be our Just a Memento building here, which is like one of the gift shops. And this building turned out a little very clean and a lot cleaner than I thought it would. I didn't do I didn't do anything like crazy with some of these designs of these buildings. Really, I'm just trying to be a little creative. Obviously, some of the best advice is just don't build boxes. And I still struggle with this sometimes because you can see that I built I built a box for this thing. But if you do build boxy, try and give it some depth. And you kind of see what I did with those pillars on the front, just kind of pulled out and just kind of give the building some depth. Sometimes that makes a world of difference. And get creative with your roofing as well by just creating some cool designs for your roof, which also kind of helps with the depth of your buildings as well. So, and then just make sure you're adding plenty of details like windows and just little designs like this little wave pieces. I love this little wave piece. I feel like I'm going to use that a lot, especially in the water parks sections. And then you want to make sure you decorate everything that the guests can see. Anything that the guests can't see, you can probably get away with keeping blank. So that's kind of, because that's kind of how parks do it in real life too. So, and that's actually kind of somewhat realistic. So, if you ask me. So I thought it was a good idea to put like this really nice little planter in this spot right here. And boy was I right. Adding these planters into like to fill in some gaps sometimes is some of the best things you can kind of do in parks. I feel like when you're building, because then you can put in some foliage. It adds some green to your park, and also I love the curb that it adds and everything like that. So I really highly recommend, if you have some gaps in your park, just fill them in with like some of this, some like planter pieces and stuff like that. It really does make a huge difference when creating that. So, but anyways, I'm gonna have another episode of the Dark Ride coming out very soon. So look forward to that. Hopefully we get that finished pretty quickly. I'm not a big fan of having multiple projects go on at once. But at the same time, this has been really fun, and I'm having a good time just going between all these different modes and stuff like that. So, so yeah, we're gonna kind of softly update you on this park somewhat every once in a while. It's not gonna be like a main part of the series or anything, but I will give you guys updates on this very so often, whether or not. I don't always record everything I do in this park, so I'll try my best to explain what I've already done. So I think there's a little bit of off-screen work between this episode and the next episode, so just keep that in mind. And then because I just decided to start recording again at one point. So anyways, I know you guys were hungry for a park series, so I thought I'd give you a little taste of my first like actual park here today, so in franchise mode. So anyways, you know, we do this little hot dog squad building, which turned out really cool, by the way. And but anyways, that's gonna about do it for this episode, guys. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for more amazing content like this, and a lot more Planet Coaster 2 content on the way. So if you love Planet Coaster 2, guys, you're gonna want to be sure you're here for all this. So thank you guys so much, and have a great day and cool tomorrow. Goodbye.